8th grade, we were doing a career research report, and I was trying to figure out what it was I wanted to do. And it was actually my father that recommended checking out the Marine Corps. He took me down to a recruiter, which that might have been a bad idea in 8th grade, because that recruiter stuck with me all the way through high school. But after doing that report, I mean, it was like a year-long report. We were taught how to research and do the note cards and put everything together. I realized that being a Marine was, it's what I wanted to do. I realized that there's always going to be someone sacrificing bits and pieces of their time to serve the country, and I knew that I needed to be part of that. And that was 8th grade. I was like, okay, I want to be a Marine, and it was my grandfather who it kind of brought up the idea of if you can enlist, or if you think about going to college, the Naval Academy, you can continue to play sports, you can get an education, you can still be a Marine, and you can lead more Marines. And I was like, okay, I'm sold, let's do it. And my father helped out with all the application stuff.
Now just a few quick words. One thing that everyone in this room shares, one thing we all have in common is that we all face challenge. We all have our adversity, and we're all fighting our battles. And you can look across the table and look to your left and right. Everybody has something going on. My challenge was physical. I lost a little bit of my leg, and I wanted to get back to living an active lifestyle. Yours may be physical. Maybe it's marital or financial. It could be from stress from your job, from addiction, from loss. It could be anything. But challenge is healthy, guys. What defines our character isn't the circumstance or the situation that we find ourselves in. What defines our character is how we react when in the face of adversity. How we react when we're faced with those challenges. How we step up to the plate and handle those obstacles. How we adapt and overcome. And I think there's nothing more inspiring than seeing someone who is in the face of adversity, or who is facing that challenge in that battle, doing it with a strong, positive attitude. I think that's one of the key ingredients to success. And that's the person that you're generally going to see, throwing the gold medal around their neck, or reaching the peak of Mount Everest, or maybe starting a successful business or saving a marriage. So keep that in mind, guys. That positive attitude is key. It's important for us to realize that we need to give ourselves permission to be great, give ourselves permission to win our battles. And thank you all. Semper Fi. December 9th, 2011, we were on a patrol. It was a dismounted patrol, so we were walking around in a village. The village was called Mama Carez, and I stepped on an IED, and I triggered an explosion underneath my right foot, and it led to the amputation of my right leg below the knee, and a little bit of damage to my left leg and left hand and forearm, and a minor TBI, minor traumatic brain injury. And honestly, that morning, guys, when I woke up, I didn't know that later on that day, my life was about to change. I didn't realize that. In fact, a second before the blast, I was a strong, healthy, confident, aggressive Marine leader. And then a second after the blast, I was laying on my back. I was in a lot of pain. I wasn't confident. I wasn't even sure that I was going to live, and I needed help. I needed assistance.
And positive attitude, that's number one thing. And it's easy to say, have a positive attitude, but how do you do that? Sometimes it's kind of difficult. A lot of times I just try to put things into perspective. When I was healing in the hospital, when I was going through some of the mental challenges, like, oh man, you're a little bit different, lost a little bit of a leg. When I was healing with other Marines and other sailors who had lost 2 legs, who had lost 3 limbs, who were moving on with their life. And I remember going into physical therapy and seeing these guys getting up on prosthetics for the first time and going on with their life. And then, thinking to myself, like, wow, that's absolutely amazing that he's doing that. And if he could do that, then I can try to do something like that as well. And when I start to have an issue with my leg, like I turn crabby. I get crabby pretty quick. But it's easy, and usually it's my wife that points it out, that it's, hey, be thankful for what you do have, and that's very helpful perspective.
A few more quick thank yous. James Polanco, one of my best friends, thanks for coming. Patricia Riley, Jim Riley, thanks for coming and being here. And just to cover everything. But honestly, from my heart, the community here in San Diego has supported me so much. Since I've been out here. I've been out here for 7 years. I've been missing a body part for about 2 years. And you guys have given me nothing but open doors and opportunity. And I want you guys to know that there really aren't very many days that go by where someone doesn't stop me, shake my hand, and thank me for my service. And that's extremely powerful for me. That makes me proud to have served this nation as a Marine, and makes me proud to live in such a grateful community and such a grateful nation. So thank you for that. You guys know that, and I was really taken care of well, and I was out here in San Diego and reunited with my family and adults. I think it was tough for them. They're a little bit standoffish, not knowing how to react or how I was doing. It was my biggest influence was my 5-year-old daughter at the time. Her name was Lupe, and she really quickly accepted me and treated me like she always did. She jumped up on my bed, gave me a hug, she poked and prodded, and she was pressing buttons that she probably wasn't supposed to be pressing, and she was trying to look under my bandages, and it was great. And finally, she was good, she was content, her curiosity was reached, she was happy. She looked at me and said, "Daddy, can we set the Wii up in the hospital room?" And the Wii is a little video game. At that point I realized, I think kids think of their parents as superheroes, and she used to. And even though I was in the bed, she still looked at me the exact same way, and she just wanted to play video games, and she was happy that I was going to be home with her for Christmas.